All right. In this episode, we are joined by Jocelyn Tardino, class of 20. What class?
19.
19. That's right.
Yes.
19. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
All right. So I want you to think back to all those years ago, back when you were in middle school. Why'd you choose early college?
So when I was in middle school, I kind of got almost like a scared straight moment because they were like, I had a teacher that was like, you guys really need to start focusing on, high school, your GPA, how much college is going to cost, and like so on and so forth. And it made me actually really scared. I was like, I'm going to be in debt for the rest of my life. Um, so when I was looking at like high schools, I knew I didn't want to go to my base school. I just didn't really feel like I belonged there. Especially with like the people I went to like middle school with. I was like, I do like some of them, but like, and I had friends. I was just like, I just know it wasn't gonna like work out. Um, so I told my mom about early college, and I never even toured the school. We actually went to like Carolina Forest High School had like a little almost like high school fair
Mhm.
where you can like see what all the programs are offered in the area. And I was like, I want to do that one, which was early college. And my mom was like, are you sure? Like, I want you to have like a normal experience with like high school. Like, I'm like, no, I want to go. And then it went from there. And yeah.
Perfect. Well, we're glad you picked us because it definitely worked out right. All right, so you make the decision to come to early college. We expose you to Bridge Week and all of your new classmates and friends and people you don't know. You get into freshman year. Again, we got people from everywhere. Uh, how'd you go about making friends?
When I was in Bridge during Bridge Week, I, as a lot of people know, I'm very outgoing. I'm very talkative. Um, I was just talking to anyone. Like anyone that would talk to me, I would talk to them. I did stay close to like the people that I went to like middle school with because I was like, oh, they're familiar faces. Let me go to them. And then actually that's where I met Bridge Week is where I met my friend Alex, which I know you've done an interview with him already. Um, he kind of like introduced me to more people in different classes because when it comes to like freshman year, you're really just with like all the other freshmen. It starts going into like sophomore, junior year when you're kind of like mixed in with other classes. Um, but because I made friends with him during Bridge Week, and he like there's a little backtrack. He invited like the entire class to like come hang out at the mall. Like we'll walk around, like get to know each other a little bit more outside of Bridge Week. And I was the only one that showed up. So me and him got to know each other very well that day. And then I kind of just through him made more friends in my class as well. Um, So just like honestly just talking to people, like not don't be shy. There's like nothing to lose. It's a new place. You-
Right, for sure. I love that fact too. Like, obviously, you're talking about Alex from class of 2016, uh, and so he's a fairly much older person than you there, uh, but very outgoing as well. You meet up with him, he introduces you to people, and he knows all the right people, and so you're really just building a great network there, and networks are how we thrive. Love that
Oh yeah.
for sure. All right, so you start making friends. You're doing well in school. That part was that hard for you, the school part? You can
It
be honest. I
was
won't I won't tell anybody if it was.
um parts of it were hard and parts of it were easy. When comparing high school to college, it's different from like my standpoint now. I'm like high school was so easy. I was able to kind of just like I was just naturally very smart. Um, and like kind of just knew like how like the tests were gonna go because it kind of all it all just flowed together a lot in high school. Um, but it was hard for me at the time. Like I remember my freshman year, it was hard learning time management for sure. Because I would always want to like hang out with friends after school and la-di-da, like, but then I'd go home after hanging out with all my friends and be like, I still have like 2 hours of homework that I have to do for geometry, and I don't understand what's going on in geometry. At the time, it was like overwhelming, but the more time went on throughout high school, it was learning that kind of like balance of, okay, yes, you can do this, but make sure you're home at this time so you're not staying up until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning trying to finish an assignment.
Right. And as somebody in a previous interview had talked about, it's like understanding your calendar. And I never really
Yeah.
heard it that way before, but it makes sense. Like you have to figure out what will work for you uh, in order to prioritize, in order to get all the stuff done when it needs to get done. If you're social, obviously you got to put that in there somewhere too, because your happiness is kind of predicated on having that social aspect too. Uh, so I love that. That makes sense,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Definitely like prioritizing you, but knowing what also just needs to get done.
right? Because you have a lot of demands on your time for sure. And with that being said, that's a perfect segue to that sophomore and junior year, you're starting to take more of those tech classes. Were
Mhm.
those what you thought they would be in terms of rigor and challenging and that kind of thing?
No. Um, yes, at the point where I was just like, okay, I'm taking a college class. There's going to be different expectations in high school versus my high school classes versus my college classes. Um, I'm gonna be honest, some of my college classes were easier. But it just depended on which one. But that was specifically at Tech. Tech, some of them were really easy, especially when you got into like your art history, music history, stuff like that, like kind of like I wouldn't say like more fun classes, but like the more like stuff that you're not used to. It's not going to be your science classes. It's not going to be your math classes. I remember taking my first biology class through tech, and I was like, oh, oh, I might actually like just pass this class with like a C and be okay.
And that's an
Right.
interesting idea too, there with the just pass, because like you were saying, I mean, it's been pretty easy so far, and then to be like, whoa, all right, a little bit of a wake up call, perhaps.
Yeah. Because I was like, I was an honor roll student. I was like, I need to get at least a B, and I can tell you I did not. It was
But you,
hard.
but you got the credit and you got through it, which is what's really important there, and learned a lot
Yeah.
about yourself in the process, which is also good.
Yeah.
All right, so senior year is kind of a weird year here at early college because we kind of, all right, seniors go be successful, without a whole bunch of guidance from us. How did you manage your schedule there senior year?
My schedule during senior year was actually pretty, especially the second semester was pretty hectic for me. Um, the first semester I was just like, cool, got it, we're cruising. My second semester, so I worked a job throughout all of high school, like a part-time job. Towards my second semester, I'm sorry, my light
Okay,
just
you're
goes
good.
off.
You're good. I
During
understand.
during my second semester,